back, everybody. The roof of my police box has dried enough that I can handle it a little more. Next step will be adding the tiny little pieces here. These get glued right to the edges of the roof. So this will be a very delicate operation. I will use my trusty tweezers to help hold these pieces in place. And I have to remember which direction those angles are going. Okay. There's one. Okay, that's the one I'm going to do last. That one there is the one I accidentally cut apart and had to glue and back together. I'm going to let that glue set for as long as necessary. I'm just going to stop playing with it and hope for the best. Isn't that what most of what we do amounts to? All right, so I'm going to let that dry again some more before I do the next step. The roof and the base of the roof are dry. And the next step will be gluing the top portion of the roof onto its base, remembering that the roof has a hole in it. This has a hole. Well, this has two. It's got a square hole and a round hole, but the two round holes need to match up. So I will keep those to my right. So this will go on like that. Yes. And so that will leave a little bit of border around the outside. So to hold that on, once again, I reach for my wood glue. That didn't sound good. Some tires screeching outside somewhere. Not sure what it is about this area. It seems to attract the some of the bad drivers. It's otherwise mostly a very quiet residential neighborhood. It's close to a couple of highways, so I do get some highway noise from time to time, but the street itself is very quiet. So I'm gonna get those lined up. Now, if this is going to fly off the rod very well, those holes need to line up. There. So I'm just going to hold this down until that glue starts to set. And next I will move on to this. So I will need a 1/2 inch section of this. So looks like I have enough to work with in case I make any mistakes, but not a whole lot. I'm gonna move you there. I will need, this is kind of thick to want to use my hobby knife on. So instead I will reach for this. Get it out of the way, and I need my blade. So my little razor saw. Blade over there. There. That's pretty well. I get some good light on this. Trying to get this so that it is as straight up and down as possible. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this. I'm just more or less letting the blade and gravity do the work for me. This last little bit, there it goes. Nice and clean. And there's my little chunk. I'm going to get a little bit of, before I go anywhere, put this away. If I don't put it away, I'll forget, and then I'll end up hurting myself somewhere. And that's not good. So, to continue on where I left off, I'm just going to take this, kind of sand that a little flatter. Looks good. Oh, you popped up. Stay down. I'm going to give that a little bit of help. Maybe that corner just didn't get enough glue to start with. So a little bit of super glue. Just being very careful where I put my thumb. There. That seems to be holding now. Okay. Gonna test this in there. Ooh. That's snug. That's good. It's hard to tell if it's actually hitting the bottom now, but I think it is. Okay. So we'll get that glued in place. Okay, now you don't want to go in. Are you going in? Yeah, you were down. You were down. There. Now it's down. Okay. That took a while. Next, I will need this little dowel. I don't need you yet. What? Sorry. 1/4 inch. Goodness. Couldn't they have just sent a 1/4 inch piece? So I'm actually going to, before I get into that, I'm going to let this dry and let that set up before I move on to the next step. So thank you again for joining me here, and I'll see you again soon.